LeBron and the Lakers, 124-115, the final. Kuz, who's played better basketball and has certainly gotten more shots with AD off the floor and more space to do so, but taking advantage of it. And for Russell Westbrook and James Harden, combined 69 points, 43 shots, and a loss. Here's LeBron after the game.
We made adjustments at halftime. We had a couple breakdowns defensively. One of them was putting James to the line, I think 8 times in that first quarter or that first half, which coming into the game we said we didn't want to do that. But we made adjustments, and we was able to right that in the third, kept it going in the fourth, and was able to close the game out.
I know he got his points, but James Harden was 2 for 9 from 3. You didn't let him beat you from deep. Yeah. What were you guys doing defensively against him?
Well, I mean, listen, he's one of the greatest scorers we ever seen in this game. And he's going to take some shots. He's going to make a lot, too. But one thing about it, we had to just try to keep him off the three-point line and try to keep him off the free throw line, even though he got some late in the fourth. But anytime he went into his dance, went to his ISO, we just try to put a second body, make him get a ball up. And then some of the ones that he missed, we had some good containments and some good contests, so that worked out for us.
With Anthony Davis still out, Kyle Kuzma really picked up the slack tonight. What did you like about his game tonight?
I think offensively, he was very good. But defensively, in that second half, he took the challenge on Russ, who had a 20-point first half at us in the first half. He took the challenge in the third quarter. They got stop after stop after stop, rebound, and allowed himself to get on the break and get some easy ones. So, big step for the young fella.
And for a washed king, what's it like to hear the MVP chants on the road? I know that's probably not new for you, but here you are, 17th year. MVP chants on the road.
Lisa is so humbling, and you know, I'm still making my fans proud. I'm still playing the game that I love to play, and being able to do it at a high level with a great team and a historical franchise like the Lakers, I couldn't ask for anything better than that. So, much appreciation to the Laker faithful that came out here and supported us tonight, and hopefully we made them proud.
Always great to see you. Congratulations.
Good to see you too, Lisa. Yeah.
Mike.
So a big win for the Lakers, yet another added to the list, and LeBron continues to do his thing, looking spry and excited and all of that, and I want to talk Houston because I feel like everybody kind of elephant in the room, they kind of like talk about it, and then, you know, we get to, look, James Harden is maybe the toughest one-on-one Quran scorer to guard ever. I know people don't want to hear that, but what's in the bag, I mean, it's like a piñata, there's more coming. But 69, 70 shots, and they don't win the game. Doesn't something have to change? Been a lot of these the last few weeks here for Houston.
Look, I think you still give it time. I think that these are two guys that want to play with each other, despite the narratives that's being thrown out there by a lot of people outside of that infrastructure, that circle. I think that they enjoy playing with one another, and they haven't been getting the results as of late. But I think James has taken a step back, specifically in the OKC game. That was a game for Russell to get, you know, huge numbers and hopefully a quality win, which did not happen. And also against the Portland team that, you know, didn't equate to a win either. So they're trying to figure it out, but I think they'll be fine going forward.
How hard is it, though, a coach and player can help me on this, if I'm not trusting you consistently and keeping you in rhythm and that confidence where it needs to be, how tough is it to then decide in different spots, right? Like, hey, this game, we got to work here. When these guys are standing around a lot and watching the game when 2 other guys have the ball, Stan.
Well, yeah, look, it's not easy to be those other guys on Houston's team and to keep yourself involved in the game. Capella gets involved because he's a pick and roll guy, but then there's the 2 corner standers. That's their position on every play. You know, you have right corner and left corner. That's the position you play in Houston. And it's tough to keep yourself, I think, at times enthused and defending. I give P.J. Tucker a lot of respect. It's not easy to go stand down there on offense and then still stay committed defensively. It takes a different type of guy. Look, I just don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough around those 2 guys. I don't think they have enough diversity in their offense. And while their defense has been a little bit better, even in this stretch of losing 6 games in 11 nights, in 11 games, it's not good enough to carry them when they have bad offense. I just don't think this is their year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But the only team that ever knocked them out when they was at their peak is the Golden State Warriors, and they had Kevin Durant, they had the Splash Brothers, and, no one could beat them when they was at, full and healthy. So I think that in their back of their heads, they thinking, look, if we can just stay healthy and get some momentum, play a little better defense, they got a realistic shot at coming out the Western Conference.
To me, size.
I'm going to challenge that one.
Yeah,
Me too.
I'm going to challenge.
I'm saying what they thinking.
He just challenged his own comment.
I'm saying that's what they think.
Yeah.
I was going to say, not the Warriors then, because they lost Christmas too again. So it's really any Warriors, but the size too. It's like, if you got to be thinking, I got to beat the Lakers, right? I got to beat the Clippers.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that? Okay, I could shoot, I could score a bunch, great. But inside, when you look at what the Lakers are bringing to the table, Capella fouls out or gets into trouble. Look, Hartenstein's played great in his role. I don't want to play in 30 minutes, Stan. I mean, how are you going to do that?
No, listen, and I think the biggest problem, if you really they'll say all the right things. James Harden, I think, has been great with that.
Yeah.
And he's been a good face of the franchise. I think right now he's got to be looking around with what the Clippers have and the Lakers have and saying, you know what, we don't have enough here. I think there's a lack of belief in Houston. Not a lack of belief in their system or anything else. I think there's a lack of belief in them having enough talent to get it done.
I mean, look, being fair, if we're being honest with ourselves, if he had those pieces, do we know that then the game is going to adjust down to, like, LeBron could go score 60 points during, especially the heyday of his career, anytime he wants. I mean, he knew he wanted to get more involved. I got to, because he's looking at how am I going to win a championship? I need to trust that they trust themselves. Do we think if he had more that we're going to see more distributing of the basketball? I don't know why we would believe that that's going to change.
I just don't think, for me, just watching them over the years, realistically, they don't have a shot at winning a championship because they don't invest their time on the defensive end of the floor enough. You look at the rotations, and there's so many breakdowns on the second tier and the back line of the defense, and you're sending everything to Capella and sometimes Tyson Chandler, who's a long in the tooth when he comes out there, and he's battle-tested. But, however, once Capella goes down, to Coach Point, who's the other guy? It's a huge drop-off. And now you're playing small ball with no defender at the rim. So I don't think they have a realistic shot if they're not hanging their hat on the defense.
They also, I go back to baseball, the last of many scandals that I've covered. But when somebody said they misremembered, they might have misremembered how good Eric Gordon is too, because I understand he was out. But look, you want to say, hey, look, we want him getting used to the sixth man again and playing a bit. Whatever the moment is that he starts doesn't matter. Lou scores 30 plus again tonight, and he played a ton of minutes. But Gordon is such a huge key piece because you have to defensively. You're a great defender. Fear him because, all right, swing, allowed to go to, I don't want to name a name and make anyone feel bad, but Eric Gordon going to hurt you if you let him do that. And he hasn't really been used the same way, Stan.
Well, but he was hurt for a good part of the year, so that's going to take a little time, I think, to get him integrated back in. I don't see it. I mean, they would need to make a move, and I can't even tell you what that move is. Like, I just don't see them being to the level, certainly, of the LA teams, but I think Utah and Denver are better than them. I think Dallas is better than them. I think they're the sixth best team in the West.
And I don't think, Coach, to your point, I don't think a lot of people, really want to sign up to this run track.
No.
I don't think, people run and sprint the floor for opportunities, and when you're just being a spacer and just standing there in limited possessions, you know what, this is not something I want to be.
You're a wide receiver on the Army football team, or back in the 80s, Peyton's going to run the ball, just kind of hang over here. Now, Willie Gault was faster than anyone on the field, but he didn't have to run very much.
No.
Hand the ball off all the time. For those of you who remember when football was good.
Run your route.
In Chicago. There's more coming up on Game Time. We'll continue to keep you posted on what is going on around the league, including a closer look at the deadline. Do the Lakers really need anything to make them the championship favorite that they are?